Is it started?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I'm a little nervous about this one.
No, don't be nervous. No, we won't get in trouble. We might get in trouble. I don't know.
We might get a little slap on the wrist or maybe, I don't know, something. Okay, so we have... What?
Hold on, you gotta do the opening.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to say, honestly, because it's not Bachelor Brunch anymore.
We could just say that this is a standalone episode. The Bachelor isn't on, so we're bringing you something Bachelor related. This is the secrets of the Bachelor.
Anyways, we are just as bored as you guys are, or worried and stressed as you guys are sitting at home. So we're trying to bring a little entertainment and light into your lives. So I hope you enjoy this. It's just for fun. So Arie has compiled a list. Actually, first, before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this post.
You have to.
Because you gotta stay involved. We're gonna keep doing more videos and we're getting better as time goes on, I think.
Yeah, we're really enjoying these videos and it's a lot of fun to be on YouTube now. I feel like the Bachelor Brunch was sort of our way to break into it and to be comfortable on camera talking to you guys. And then we just released our vlog from Brazil, which was only 3 weeks ago, but it feels like a lifetime ago. So if you haven't seen that,
a lot has happened since then.
Check that out. But yeah, so I compiled a short list of questions that were asked on our previous video, and a lot of the same questions came up. So I just, obviously took the ones that you guys were interested in the most, and Lauren hasn't read them yet. So
no, I haven't. So this will be my first time.
So I'll read out the question and then give you the answer.
All right.
Yeah? Okay.
Are we gonna do it?
Yeah, go for it. So we have them here on the laptop. Can you read it that far?
Okay, this is like random, but I feel so awkward because I parted my hair on the opposite side today. You guys know
this is what we're doing while being quarantined. We're trying different parts.
I am. I tried a new tanning lotion. I tried a new hair part.
Do you guys notice our coffee cups, by the way?
Arie tried to make me coffee, but he made me drink out of his cup.
And then I have Lauren on my cup.
Yeah.
On my
Cute,
face.
cute. We're so cute. Okay. So first question is... Oh, okay. I actually read this first one, and I thought it was freaking honey. It was funny. But it says, how can you pack all those clothes in 2 suitcases? That is a very good question because you just don't. Like,
yeah, what do you do?
You're gone for 2.5 months, and the girls don't really recycle clothes if they're on TV. You don't want to have the same outfit on twice, which is weird because everyone sees it.
Yeah.
But for me, I packed 2 large suitcases, a carry-on, and I had clothes delivered to the hotel before I went to the Bachelor Mansion. So I was very well stocked. But I think, I was not the only one that did that. There was a girl, Lauren S, on our season. She showed up with 7 suitcases.
What do they do?
They just took them.
So they suggest 2, but apparently you guys just didn't listen.
But you didn't hear it here.
So if you're going on, you can pack 7 suitcases apparently.
I do know that once you start traveling, they don't let you take all those though. So you have to leave them in LA.
Got you.
So that's probably the catch.
Okay, so when you travel to another country, can you leave the hotel on a non-day-to-day? I can't imagine being in a beautiful new country and not being able to leave my hotel room.
Yeah, it is the freaking worst.
You can't. You actually don't leave your hotel unless you're on a date.
Until the very end, when there's not that many girls left.
Yeah, then there's a little bit more freedom. You have a designated producer, so
I think it's when there's 4 left.
Yeah, when there's 4 left. So past hometowns, you have a little bit more freedom to move around. But, can you imagine, no one has cell phones. If someone got lost or they, got hurt outside of filming, it would be, really a big liability for the show. So they really keep everyone together that's in the house. And myself as a bachelor, I didn't get to really go out and do things either, just because they want to control every part of this environment for us. So
yeah, and I think they also are trying to control people getting pictures of the cast too, because the cast is released, and then if someone is out and takes a picture of where they're at, then they know where the show is, and
Yeah, it ruins it.
Don't want that.
Yeah, so a lot of spoilers out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, next one.
Is the run and jump mandatory? I would no. I would say no, but it is highly suggested.
Yeah, your producer was like, you should just run and jump. Right?
She walked in and she was like, okay, Lauren, you're going on your date today. Are you excited to see him? I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to see him. She's like, you know what you should do that'd be really cute? You should do this little like run and jump on him. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that before.
Never seen that on The Bachelor.
I'm like, ugh. Okay, I guess this is what I signed up for. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
You were good at it. Sometimes, okay, so here's a little known thing, or a little thing that you guys might not know at home. So, you know when you're watching and you see the Bachelor standing there and he's all smiling, he's like, like, oh, here she comes, and in a natural situation, the two people would walk towards each other, but they have the cameras sort of set on a place, so the Bachelor just has to stand there while
they make the girl walk like a freaking mile down the road.
So I'll see Lauren walking
so
over
awkward.
to me and she's, in the distance and you're just like smiling and waving, but you can't move, which is weird. And then that's why I think it's so funny, the run and jump, because you're doing all the work.
It always threw me off when he would just be standing there. I'm like, aren't you excited to see me? Why are you just standing there?
Yeah, so there's a reason for that. Oh man, all right. So when it comes to the rose ceremonies, is there a specific order you go with the names of the women? Or do you figure it out as you go? How does it work? Okay, so a lot of my friends even ask me this. How do you remember all those names? A lot of questions surrounding the rose ceremony. So how it works. There is a group of producers with The Bachelor. There is input for The Bachelor on who would get the first rose. But after that, the sequence is really pretty much picked by production, unless you really have an opinion about it. But usually, the first rose is pretty significant. But past that, as long as you're getting a rose, it's good, right? So I think what's so funny is like when you watch the first episode, you see the sun coming up and they're all standing there waiting for a long time, because The Bachelor doesn't go out and then just read off 25, 30 names. It just doesn't happen. No one would be able to remember that. So I was really pretty bad at it, and I apologize, babe. But I can only I can only really not remember, but you have to do it in order because the cameras are set to capture the reaction of that person. So you have to do them in order. So I could only do 3 in order. I'd have to go back, get another 3 names, come back.
3 because you could only remember 3, or because that was how many cameras they had set up?
No, there's a lot of cameras because I didn't want to.
So you can only remember 3. Cool, got it.
Okay, all right, yep. Yeah, Chris Harrison would come out and be like, hey, we don't want to be here all night. Can you maybe remember 4 or 5 names in a row? So I was really bad at that, and it gets better as it goes on. But that first night, I will say, is pretty hard.
That was a very long night. Okay. Are the contestants able to leave the mansion or hotels to get their nails and womanly wax appointments done? The girls always have a fresh manicure on, and I imagine you always have to be bikini ready. The answer is no. You don't get to leave the mansion or any of the hotels until the very end. You can. Everyone always is curious about that, and you also.
Did you do your own nails, or?
Yeah, we had nail parties where the producers would bring supplies for us to all do our nails together, and we would just sit in whichever house we're in, and we would paint our nails together and hang out and drink wine. And it was really fun. So that's why we always look like we're manicure ready. We have a lot of time on our hands, and all the supplies are there. So yes.
There is a couple questions about what do the girls do at the house during when the Bachelor's on a date with a contestant. So what do you girls end up doing? Talking about me?
No, not as much, honestly. In the beginning, it's more just like a sorority house, or what I would imagine one to be like, because I was never in a sorority, but we just hang out and do goofy stuff. Like, we would all make hair masks out of honey and avocado, olive oil, eggs.
Face mask?
Both hair and face mask. I remember this
What's a hair
time.
mask?
It's the same thing as a face mask, you just put it on your hair.
Okay.
But Mikkel and I made them, and we put Ziploc bags on our heads, and we cooked Brussels sprouts, and we were like floating around the pool feeding each other Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
or we did just like anything you would do to keep yourself busy when you're locked in a house, which is kind of something familiar for all of us right now. So
yeah, you're basically on The Bachelor right now.
This is what you would do on the show, but you have no technology.
Yeah, so no phones, no TV, no music. Okay, does the lead have 100% control of who gets the roses and who goes home? I will say it's a little bit of a team decision at some point of the show, and I think it's because The Bachelor really, I guess the first night really goes through how he's feeling about some of the relationships at that point, and then there's ones that are towards the bottom, I would say, at that point, and the producers do have their input on who they feel is best for you, because you have to remember the producers are like your friends because they know you really well, and just like a friend, you would ask, what do you think about this person?
They're literally the only people you have with you that you can get input from.
Right. So because some of the decisions are difficult and it comes down to one person to the other person, and they might know a little bit more.
Yeah, they know the contestants as well as they know the Bachelor.
Yeah, so they can give their input and say, well, this is how we feel. And then once they say that, you go, you know what, I think you're right. So a lot of times, although everyone at home feels like the producers have it out for the Bachelor or to try to make drama, a lot of times it's in their best interest as well. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. You have to trust them. Otherwise it doesn't work, I feel like. You have to trust them, maybe not 100%, but 95%.
Yeah. Okay, there's one on here.
Okay, is The Bachelor scripted at all?
No.
It's not.
Nope, we get asked that a lot. They just have so much content to work with that they can pick and choose whatever fits the narrative the best.
Yes.
So.
And they're real emotions, so it might look like, I don't know why people say that. I don't understand how.
Probably because we're all saying really corny stuff all the time.
I think the producers are talking to you in a certain way and you sort of pick up on those things. Like I never said,
okay,
I love that before the show. But my producer always said it and then I started saying it.
Well, it's that thing like when people say you are a compilation of the 5 closest people to you. Mm-hmm. I think it's like you're always around these producers and whatever they say, you kind of pick it up. And
yeah.
That was Arie's downfall.
Thanks.
But I love that downfall. But I also think when you're in an interview, a lot of times you have to repeat what the question was before you answer it. So maybe the corny / romantic phrases you're hearing all the time were asked in the question.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why people feel like it's scripted.
They'll say, so they'll do a little sit down interview. It's called an ITM, which stands for in the moment. And then they'll ask you something, like let's say I was interviewing Lauren right now. I'd be like, so tell me, Lauren, is Arie your person?
I do think Arie is my person because blah,
there you
blah,
go.
blah, blah.
She said my person. Who says that in real life? I feel like it's a Bachelor thing.
Yeah.
And it's become sort of a mainstay now. Like you hear it in a lot of other relationships, I guess. People calling somebody else their person, but I feel like it started on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I never really heard it.
No. It started on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
I watched way too much of that in college.
Okay, so does the fantasy suite key actually open the door to the fantasy suite?
This one's funny. We talked about this.
I know, it's so
recently.
I know, we talked about it because they're still using like the same key from season 2002.
It looks like one to a treasure chest.
No, that key does not actually open the door. We're not like in a 17th century Croatian village where they have like a... I think the key is a prop, obviously. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is a prop, but it's just kind of funny how they keep using that.
Yeah, like how romantic is it if they give you a
card
to a hotel room? Like, will you go to the fantasy suite with me?
Yeah.
It just looks better, I think.
How do producers prep for hometown dates? I thought this was a good question because everyone said, "Oh, that's not their house. It's like those houses are rented."
Yeah,
that's their house.
That's their parents' real houses.
Yeah.
The art department will come in and spoof them up a little bit and make them look good for TV, but that's their real houses. Yeah. It
was kind of funny on our season. I went back home for a date with Krista, and and they had reorganized and like done my condo that I live in. And I walked in and I was like, wow, this place looks amazing. Like, they had different art on the walls. I thought it was kind of funny that they come in and they just make it look as TV ready as they can, you know? Oh, okay. So do the contestants / bachelorette have any say in what kind of ring they like? Or do the guys just pick one they like? Laugh out loud. So this is kind of funny. I mean, I would say that for some reason, it's just, they show you these rings and then they go, you know what? Lauren likes these on this side over here. And I don't know how they know that. So
they ask me.
They ask you?
They ask, they're like, okay, have you seen any rings that you like in the past? And for me, I wasn't thinking about getting engaged, so I hadn't really been looking at rings. But I was like, you know what? I remember Lauren Bushnell's ring that she got on the show. That was my favorite one that I had seen so far. And I was like, I love that style. Okay. It's got like the square diamonds in the middle and it's kind of like more bulky-ish.
Yeah.
Which I made more bulky with my wedding band. But that's where they got an idea of what I liked. Yeah. Yeah,
they're like, they have like a case, you know. Neil comes in with the case and he has got like one set on one side and one set on the other side. And then it's up to the bachelor to kind of choose between, I would say probably 6 to 8 different rings that all are similar, but different in their own way.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Someone wanted to know how long was the process from your application to when you were informed that you were going to go on the show? For me, it was, I honestly don't even remember when I applied. I think July or August or something, and then I found out I was going 2 weeks before we started filming, so it was like early September. So like a month or two, maybe?
Yeah.
I found out I was gonna be on the show like 4 weeks before I had to leave, or 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. My my road through the whole thing was kind of different. The first time around, I had actually. Do you know this story?
What? I was still puzzled by what I just said. Sorry, that didn't make sense at all. Anyways, yeah, sorry. I found out like.
How long does it take? That's all they want to know.
I found out 4 weeks before we left.
Okay.
So it took like a month.
Okay. Yeah. So the funny story is I dated someone for a couple weeks that lived in Indiana. She worked in local news. Fast forward 10 years later, I run into her while I'm in Los Angeles and she tells me that she's a producer on The Bachelor. And I said, oh, that's cool. And I said, if you ever need somebody, let me know. She calls me 2 weeks later and says, hey, it'd be really great if you could be on the show. And then 3 days later, I was on our season, Emily's season.
Yeah.
And then, so that was kind of a wild thing. And it became part of the storyline. It was like, whatever. So, old history. And then kind of fast forward to becoming The Bachelor, I've been in contact with a particular producer who I'd grown really close to, and he used to be a house producer, and then he went up through all the way to becoming an executive producer. And we'd always stayed in touch. And then he said, what about being The Bachelor? And he says this every year, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And so I went, and then, just a week and a half later, I was announced on GMA, so it happened really fast.
How much help do you get with planning your limo entrance?
Oh yeah.
And that is a big thing when you show up and it's like a few days before the first night of filming, the producers all come in and hang out with you and get to know you a little bit, and they're asking you, have you thought about your limo entrance at all? What do you think you want to do? And for me, I had something planned. I was very excited about it.
I would have laughed.
They shut it down.
They shut it down.
I was so upset.
She had a fake booty.
One of my friends was Nicki Minaj for Halloween, And Nicki Minaj is my girl. I love her. But anyway.
We should post a video of you rapping Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I do rap Nicki Minaj. But anyways, off topic. I borrowed her Nicki Minaj butt, and I was gonna put it under my gown and walk out of the limo up to Arie and be like, so you're a race car driver, right? Yes. And then I was gonna turn around with my big butt and be like, you think you could fit this in your passenger seat? Which could have been really funny based on his reaction or not. But maybe they didn't think it was funny. But I had met him before and I had a picture of us, so they wanted me to bring that picture and remind him that we had met before.
Yeah.
That was my entrance that was decided for me.
That was good though. I like that entrance. I like that you came with the frame picture.
Do you think you like that better than the butt one?
Yeah, I did like it because, you know.
Did it comfort you at all to know that you had someone that met you before?
Yeah.
And I still came?
Yeah, it was very. Thanks. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are there just cars waiting around to pick up contestants at any time they get sent home? Like on one-on-ones, group dates, when contestants are randomly self-eliminated, or does the lead let the producers know ahead of time? So this is kind of a funny one. I don't really know because I'm not really behind the scenes on who calls for the car, but I'm sure they're all listening in and they're all like, call the car.
There's gotta be one on standby close by for some, like maybe for something else.
Yeah, well there's always cars that take the Bachelor places, and so they have, you know, drivers on standby, but I think that when someone's broken up with, they do an interview, an exit interview, and at that time there's a buffer.
Well, a lot of times that interview is done in a car.
That's true. But yes, they do have a car. I remember specifically this one date, and my producer was like, are we, so it's not going good, I assume? I'm like, no. And I asked her if we could end the date, and she's like, no, we have to do the dinner portion because we got to get the car and we have to fill this time. And I'm like, what? I don't want to say who, but yeah. Another question, this is one I get all the time, is do you have to keep some people on, especially the villain? That's like one that is like everyone always asks me that.
Yeah.
Did you keep that person on? So I will say that the villain, you don't know who's going to be put in that role, I think.
You don't.
I don't. So everyone's at sort of back of the house and there's a lot of arguing going on, and The Bachelor really doesn't see that. You saw this season on Peter's season, everyone was sort of telling Peter if there was something happening in the house. I feel like he was trying to be so nice and figure that all out, and he was making a lot of decisions for other people other than himself, I think, because he was almost like too nice. And I think that as a Bachelor, a lot of times you get stuck in thinking, okay, I don't want to really have the influence of the house telling me who is right for me and who's not right for me. I need to know for myself. So you inevitably keep those people on longer because you're sorting out how your singular relationship is. And it's not a group decision. Yeah,
it's like glaringly obvious to the audience and all of the girls, but he doesn't see that side of it. So that's why you're always like, what the heck? Why would he keep her? Because he doesn't know.
Yeah. If there's any more questions, you guys can comment below.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do a part 2 if there's enough in there that you guys want to know that we missed.
And we'll also respond back. We love interacting with you guys.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys for watching. And make sure you subscribe.
Yep, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.